world where the law changed depending on who was in power. One day something might be legal, the next day the punishment could be completely different. There were no written rules for everyone to see. Then nearly 4,000 years ago, one king changed that forever. He carved hundreds of laws into stone for the entire kingdom to read. His name was Hammurabi, and his code would become one of the most influential legal systems in human history. But was it really the world's first written law code? Or was it something even more revolutionary? Let's find out. Around 1792 BC, a man named Hammurabi, became king of Babylon, located in what is now Iraq. At first, Babylon wasn't the dominant power in Mesopotamia, but through diplomacy, military campaigns, and political strategies, Hammurabi united much of southern Mesopotamia under one kingdom. As his empire expanded, he faced a major challenge. How do you govern people from different cities, cultures, and traditions? His answers were simple. Create one legal system that everyone would recognize. Instead of relying solely on local customs or the decisions of individual judges, Hammurabi had hundreds of laws carved onto a massive black stone monument called a stele. Anyone who could read or hear the laws read out loud could know the rules. The Code of Hammurabi contains 282 laws covering almost every part of daily life. There were laws about business, property ownership, marriage, divorce, inheritance, agriculture, trade, construction, employment, and even medical treatment. One famous law held builders responsible for a house they constructed collapsed because of poor workmanship. If the collapse killed the owner, the builder could face the death penalty. The code also established wages for certain jobs and penalties for theft, fraud, and false accusations. Perhaps its most famous principle is often summarized as an eye for an eye. The idea wasn't necessarily to encourage revenge. Instead, it sought to limit punishment so it wouldn't become excessive. In theory, the penalty should match the crime. Not exactly. The Code of Hammurabi reflects the social structure of ancient Babylon. Punishments often depend on a person's social status. The penalty for harming a wealthy landowner could differ from the penalty for harming a commoner or an enslaved person. By today's standards, that feels unfair, but for its time, the code represented an important step toward consistent justice. Instead of every dispute depending entirely on the opinion of a ruler or a local official, there were publicly known laws that judges were expected to follow. That idea, written laws applying across a kingdom, would influence legal systems for centuries. For thousands of years, the Code of Hammurabi disappeared from history. Then, in 1901, French archaeologists excavating the ancient city of Susa in present-day Iran uncovered the famous black basalt stele, standing over 7 feet tall. It was remarkably well preserved. At the top is a carved image showing King Hammurabi standing before Shamash, the Mesopotamian god associated with justice. Below that image are hundreds of lines of cuneiform writing, the legal code itself. Today, the original stele is displayed in the Louvre Museum in Paris, where visitors from around the world can still see it. Here's something many people don't realize. The Code of Hammurabi is one of the oldest and best preserved legal codes we have, but it wasn't the very first. Earlier law collections such as the Code of Namu and the laws of Eshnuna were written centuries before Hammurabi. So why is Hammurabi Code so famous? Because it's the most complete ancient legal code that survives. It gives historians an extraordinary window into how people lived, worked, traded, married, and resolved disputes nearly 4,000 years ago. The Code of Hammurabi wasn't just a list of punishments. It was an attempt to create order in a growing empire. Its laws reflected the values and inequalities of ancient Babylon while introducing the powerful idea that justice should be written down and publicly known. Even though modern legal systems have changed dramatically, the concept of written laws that people can read, understand, and debate remains one of civilization's most enduring foundations. If you enjoyed uncovering the origins of law, hit that like button, subscribe to Constant Signal, and let me know in the comments. Do you think Hammurabi's code was fair for its time, or was it simply another tool of power? Because sometimes the oldest laws still have something to teach us today. Just saying.